Hello, everyone. Welcome to the All Things Good podcast. My name is Jovanna, and I am your host. And I will be talking today about change. I'm not sure if you listened to my little trailer that I created last week. I talked briefly about what this podcast will be about and what you can expect. In that podcast, I also discussed that I went through a tremendous change in my life. And I know I'm not the only one. I'm sure there are many people out there going through change or even seeking change. A lot of the times people consider change to be an enemy. It's like when we think of change, all of a sudden our mind and our emotions begin to become fearful, anxiety, stress, worry. All these things start to take place when we hear the word change. Because we never want to come to a place where we're coming out of our comfort zone. But let me tell you, when you make that decision to come out of your comfort zone and finally do something that you're not typically used to doing, you'll gain better freedom. Okay, so what I've been seeing is I've seen this post and it resonated so well. And the post stated, how many are going through are in a place where they're not the person they used to be, but they're not completely the person they're aiming to be. And so we're stuck in this place, and I'm not going to say stuck because being stuck is a decision. It's a decision. We're in this place, in this limbo place where we're not our old self. But we're not quite the new self yet. We're still on a journey. And I know because I see it, I hear it, a lot of people are in this place. So I'm here to tell you, you are not alone. Do not despise the change. Don't fear the change. Don't even restrict or prevent the change. Allow it to come. Because it's necessary. When there's change, 9 times out of 10, there's growth. So how many are in this place? And this place of change can also be challenging. It can be lonely. You can feel like the decisions that you're making, you're questioning your decisions, whether or not the decisions are correct. Are they wrong? And so why do we feel like this? Because in this place of transition and change, your whole environment is changing. The people that you talk to and connected with is changing. And so you can't necessarily relate to the old people, and you can't necessarily relate to the new people, not quite to their level. And so you're in this middle place, this middle ground. What do you do? How do you respond? How do you address this limbo place? First and foremost, I need to tell you that I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're going through. I shared in my previous podcast, I'm not sure if you heard my trailer. I'm not even sure if I'm going to keep it up yet because I was just rambling about everything. But I was excited to just finally hit the record button and start to talk. So you might hear a lot that was probably unnecessary. Give me a break, guys. Give me a break. But in that trailer, I want to call it, I spoke about me going through a significant change. I want to say for now, it's been about almost 7 to 8 months that my life has changed. The people, the places, the connections, the family, the friends, everything that I knew is no longer. Everything that I was connected to and a part of, I am no longer connected to and a part of. And let me tell you, it was lonely at first. I felt lost. I felt as if I questioned whether or not my decision was orthodox. Was it the right decision? Was it something that, I didn't put too much thought in, too much, was I, all of these things. But let me tell you that loneliness changes. Because when you start to get this time and, that time to yourself, and you start to reconnect with yourself, what am I doing? What am I really doing? Those are the questions I had. What am I really doing? Who am I really? Outside of everything else, outside of all of the, and I'm not going to say I had hundreds of friends, because I didn't. Outside of the friends and outside of the connections and outside of the family and outside of the things that I did, who am I? Who is Jovanna? Who is this woman? And so I took that time. These past 7 to 8 months, I've just been taking time to reintroduce myself to myself. Not according to what others expected of me, what others required of me, who I was to everyone else. Who am I to me? And so when you're in this place of limbo and you're in this place of change, ask yourself, who are you to you? Outside of your relationships, outside of your titles, outside of everything that's pulling on you day after day, who are you to you? Who are you? That's the first point of advice I have. When it comes to making decisions, we're going to come to a place where we don't know if our decisions are going to be right or wrong. We just don't know. And sometimes we get stuck in that place. We get stuck. And when I said being stuck is a decision, it literally is. It means that you have decided not to make a decision. You made a choice not to make a choice. You made a choice to not go back, and you didn't make a choice to go back. You didn't make a choice to go forward. You just made a choice to stay where you were. We're not called to stay stuck. We're called to make a decision. And you don't know if your decisions are going to be correct or not. You can pray, you can seek guidance, and sometimes you will get the answer. But sometimes God will make the decision and put the decision on your lap to say, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And so don't fear making a decision. Make a decision. Whether the decision might be wrong, whether it might be correct, you don't know until you make the decision. And trust and believe that when you make your decisions, things will begin to unfold. And you'll see, okay, maybe this move wasn't correct, but I have an opportunity to get back on track. We can't stay stuck. We have to move forward. We're called to prosper. We're called to move forward. We're called to advance. And that's if you want to accept that. Again, it's a decision. We can't allow fear of unknown. That's where we get stuck. We get stuck in the fear of the unknown. Well, I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what I have to do to get to this place. I see it. I see the vision in myself. I know what I want. I know who I want to be around. I just don't know how to get there. And we get scared. And we say, well, I can't do it because I'm not sure who I'm going to meet, who I'm not going to meet, the time it's going to take, the work it requires. The fear of unknown is like a number one killer because it will keep us where we are. Go out and do what you feel called to do. Go out and try and test the waters. Time is short. And you don't know the person that you're going to meet. You don't know the connections you're going to encounter. You don't know any of it until you actually go. And so that is my encouragement for today. It's just a brief encouragement. Stop fearing the unknown. Stop fearing making decisions. Stop fearing change. You never know who you're going to encounter. You don't know that when you make that decision that it will lead to your destiny. It will lead to your passion. It will lead to you finding the love of your life. It will lead to you finding the dream job or the dream career. Make a decision. Don't despise the change. And embrace and accept the fact that when you start to make changes and you start to put yourself first and say no to things that you no longer want to do or entertain, it'll come with a price. And sometimes that price is loneliness. Sometimes